Welcome to today's video, guys. We are about to jump for the S15 and drive to Yashio factory, which is kind of fitting because, as you guys know, my S15 obviously is a Yashio factory S15. But we're going to be getting some new goodies for the car involving wheels because, as you guys know, I kind of did a doozy on this, practicing and learning some close tandem techniques with Oka-chan last Okajuku. And while I did drift on this wheel, and it is kind of like, this is probably the only like sad part here where you can see a little bit into the bead there from the bend. But it's still pretty safe to drive on in my opinion. Like after all the drifting at Nikko circuit, didn't debead or anything like that. So it's probably fine, but just looks wise, it looks crappy. So we got to definitely put a new wheel on that. But that aside, this is really funny. So this is like a random car park yard where in Japan, when you inherit land, you still have to pay land tax on it. And even though there's no house on it, like it's costing you money to just, when you inherit something here, like land in Japan. So what a lot of people do is they clear it out and turn it into a car park. Now I pay about $100 a month for me to just have one car park in this lot, right? And it's just gravel. This person here who owns a Porsche wanted their car park to look fancy. So for the last few weeks and months, I've been watching them come out here and plant grass seed all through here just for their car park. And I think that's funny. Anyways, I'd probably do the same thing if I owned a Porsche. But it's actually probably a good idea to stop these rocks flicking up anywhere. But anyways, drift car is life. It's going to get beat up no matter what. So we're going to head to Yashio factory. Let's jump in the car, stop by Starbucks, get a coffee, and pick it up, I guess, when we get there. Let's go. So just arrived at Yashio factory and they're pretty busy today. As you guys can see, a bunch of cars in there. But what I'm focused on are these boxes of wheels under this S15 here. So first things first, let's get the car jacked up, get that wheel off, get the tire off, look at the damage, and then I guess we'll open the box and look at the new wheels. Just got the wheel off, and I find this always kind of interesting, but sometimes just because your steering wheel has a bit of a shake and a wobble in it doesn't mean you've got something broken. And this was a thing that I actually fell for when I first got into drifting. See how all this rubber has melted from my drift days and then built back up on certain places on the tire, and see how you can kind of peel it off if you're pulling it hard enough. There are special tools for removing this, and quite frankly I don't really care about it because like it's just going to end up keep happening. But if you do have the time and the patience to peel it off, you should. I'm not sure what the official name is for this stuff, but essentially it builds up on your tire, and in certain places, see how there's a lot of it here, but then in this part of the tire, there's none of it here, but still a little bit here. Gives your steering this kind of weird feeling and can give you like this bumpy feeling in the front end, and it's just that. So yeah, sometimes if you've got a little wobble or shaking your steering wheel, definitely pull over and check. Especially if you're at the track and whatnot, it's better safe than sorry. But 9 times out of 10, if you've been going hard, it's generally just a little bit of built up rubber like this. I am shivering, it is so cold right now and I'm all hoodied up. Oh, speaking of, the all new 2021 edition of the Yashio factory hoodie should be coming out at the end of this month. I was talking to Oka-chan about it just before, and you will be able to purchase them through Otaku Garage just like usual. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be doing a post and letting you guys know. A ton of you have been emailing and messaging me asking about how to buy them and where to get them. Once they sell out, that's it. There's no more for the year. Oka-chan only does one run every year, and that is it. So when he does list them up for sale and when we do get them in stock at Otaku Garage, that's your only opportunity. So don't forget about that. Anyways, for now, let's get this tire off and then go check out the new wheels. Just got the tire removed off this bad boy, and you can really see that we were pretty lucky. Like, the bead was definitely sealed here, but the bend goes deep in here as well. So this could have been actually a bit dangerous. Not too bad though. We've definitely seen worse, but probably wasn't the smartest thing for me to drive on this wheel at Nikko Circuit. But hey, it held up. No point crying over spilt milk. But yeah, that's a pretty big amount of damage to this thing. It copped a beating. I'm gonna clean this and wash it up, and I'm gonna get Oka-chan to sign the inside of it, and I'm gonna sign it, and this will become a coffee table at the new shop whenever I get a shop. But yeah, I think that's kind of like a cool piece of memorabilia to have. My first kind of close real tandems hitting another car in tandem. I think that's kind of special, and I want to keep that. So let's move on to this box and open it up. We kind of opened it because we freaked out and thought we bought the wrong ones. But as you guys can see, we hit up our buddies at Yokohama, Advan Racing, and got ourselves, wait for it, the exact same wheel! Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I have some plans with wheels for this car. I have some like pretty big plans to try and get all the wheels the same kind of model and stuff. It's just really hard right now with certain wheel manufacturers and whatnot only having certain styles and certain sizes. And as you guys know, I always run 17s in the front on my car and 18s on the rear for my drift cars. So it makes it hard finding a good size 17 for the front. And mind you, I still have to use like 45, 50 mil of spacers to make these 17s work. No one really makes good size 17s anymore. So it's hard to get good wheels. But here we are, nice brand new wheel. And just for comparison, look at the brake dust difference on these two wheels. Yes, these are the exact same wheel, just one's brand new and freshly coated, and this one's well, yeah, seen a bit of abuse. Comparing it to the other one, I really should wash my wheels more. Look how much brake dust is on that wheel compared to this. Huge difference, like night and day. Almost looks like an entirely different color. Like, that is a lot of iron dust, a lot of left foot braking there. This is the most important part about getting new wheels, is getting the sticker on perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Oh boy. Not gonna lie. Kind of nervous about screwing this up. Oh yeah, I think we got that on the money there. Get that sticker on there. And here we go. Moment of truth. Focus! There we go. Woo! So the Advan Racing RS2s. That's what I have on the front. We only broke one wheel, so why buy two when we can just buy one, because they still sell the same specs for not much longer. These wheels, all they have right now in this sizing is literally what they have left in stock. They are not making any more, so hence why there's another two over there spare. So there we go, guys. I've now got the fresh wheel bolted onto the S15. I gotta still hit it with a torque wrench once it's on the ground, but fresh wheel on, old wheel there. I'm gonna give that a quick clean and get Oka-chan to sign it now before I forget. But definitely gotta give this thing a wash. This thing has not had a wash in a hot minute. There's black rubber marks all over it from Nikko. This is the side that cops the biggest beating at Nikko, because all the pieces like come off the tire. I think this piece is even still here, right? They flick off the tire and just go flying up along here and kind of, it's not tire slapping, but same principle, rubber just gets slapped against the side of the car. I have just spent about a good 15-20 minutes scrubbing this wheel with this, it's pretty much like an iron dust remover. A bunch of companies sell it. It all pretty much does the same thing. But as you can see, the brush is filthy dirty. And if I spray that out, you can see just how much iron dust and stuff is coming out of that. It's gross. And you guys remember what this wheel looked like. Hang on, let me rotate this and see if we can get a little bit of a better spray going on. Hang on, need two hands. Oh, just need my legs. Here we go. There we go. Look at this. See it all coming off the wheel? Disgusting. Look how much cleaner that looks now. Look at it all. Look at all that dark gunk coming off. You can even see like it sprayed a bit on the wall here. And it took off any dirt and iron that was on the door too. Crazy. This looks so much better. So the main reason why I'm cleaning this damaged wheel is just so that when I get Oka-chan to sign it with his pink paint pen, it's gonna stick to it. As well as I gotta put this inside my car to take it home with me, so. Memorabilia. Everyone has those things in their garage and whatnot that remind them of certain times when drifting and their driving career, and I think this is gonna be one of them for me. And it looks like I'm gonna have to still scrub this again because there is still a lot of brake dust on this thing. So we're gonna do a round 2 for sure. Oh my gosh, definitely doing a round 2. I don't know why I find this so hilarious, but in Oka-chan's race car, the driver's seat has been taken up with literal bags of rice. Find me another workshop in the world that literally does that, please. Not entirely sure what Yuta's doing over there, but Yuta! There's not much light here, and hopefully you guys can see it, but this is probably the biggest pain in the butt job there is in existence. A stud has gotten stuck and he's been working on drilling it out and retapping it in the back of a turbo. Pretty common issue on SR20 turbos. I'm going to try and help him out a little bit because he's been working at it for like 2 hours now. Hopefully we'll get there. So we gave up on the stud. I'm eating a sweet potato sweet bread thing that Oka-chan gave me. And Yuta, we found a blown old turbo. He's pulling the bolts out, and we're going to heat it up and try and get the rear housing off and use the rear housing on this blown turbo, which is in really good condition to put on the other turbo, which is from a customer's car. I think it's the one that's up there actually. But katai? Katai means like is it hard, like tight. So, but he said that they are coming off, so should be fine. So as you guys can see, we're now heating up the turbo housing to get it off. Wow. We need to get a proper map burner. We gave up on the turbo and just got another one, and we're going to give that to the customer, but Oka-chan's going to take my car for a drive because I swear this thing is way laggier than it used to be, so he's going to check it for me. So Oka-chan took the car for a rip and he agreed that there's something going on with boosting in my car, and we think it's now the boost controller, so we're going to have a quick look and see if we can suss it out, because it seems like it's just on gate pressure, like the spring only, and it's the boost controller is doing nothing, so we're going to try and figure out what's going on. It seems like my boost controller, the like solenoid part in the engine bay has died. Oka-chan has a spare that he's given me. He just kind of handed me a bunch of wires and said that this thing will work. So I'm going to put this in the car and probably deal with it tomorrow. I'm also just going to quickly look and see if maybe like any wires came loose on the back of the control unit here, because I do have things like tucked up really tightly in here, and like if something came loose in the back here, maybe that's caused it. And I'm just going to go over the wiring in the engine bay tomorrow too and just make sure that there's definitely no problems there with any of the wires going there. Like if it melted or, you know, rubbed against the intercooler piping and shorted out or something, then that could be an easy fix and then we don't have to change anything. Because as you guys know, we have that beautiful Link ECU. We're going to be putting a Mac valve in with that and doing all the boost control through the Link. So I'm not really like fussed on trying to change the boost control setup or anything like that on here, but it makes so much sense now why I've been like complaining about power loss on this car. And the thing is obviously I'm focusing on driving so much, I haven't really had time to really look into it. I'm just like, man, like the way this thing comes on is nothing like it used to, and turns out my boost controller, this guy here, has failed. So we'll figure that out tomorrow and work out what's going on. Tonight, it's already too dark, so I think I'm just gonna get dinner with everyone and hang out for a bit and just enjoy tonight. But at least we figured out what was going on with my car. I was suspecting maybe the turbo was on its way out or something, but looks like it's something simple yet again. Oka-chan's signing his part of the wheel. We got the nice pink paint marker. Such a sick signature. Kakkui. Arigatou gozaimasu. Now it's time to put this bad boy in the car with everything else. Mind you, I just realized I left the windows open, the car's in the ignition, and my wallet is in the center console right there for everyone to see, but no one took it. I love Japan. One day, taking this all for granted and just doing that is gonna end up like someone's gonna end up stealing my car for sure, or my wallet, or my phone. I do that way too often. I've gotten way too relaxed with just leaving my stuff in places where people could steal it just because it's Japan and it's very rare that that stuff happens. Like literally, I go to Starbucks and to save my seat, I'll set my phone on the desk, like where the chair is, and no one will take it. That's literally how I reserve my seat. Then I go walk off and order my coffee and come back and sit down. It's literally what it's like living in Japan. But in saying that, you still shouldn't really do that because there is a chance that one day someone could steal it. Anyways, I've just been chilling, hanging out with Oka-chan, helping him with a few issues with Yanagi-san's car. He's got this really weird issue, and we think it's a wiring, like an engine loom short, because it's just doing weird stuff, like it's misfiring, complete loss of power. It's almost like a timing issue, but we've checked all of that. We think we've narrowed it down to a harness fault, and you can't see me because it is extremely black. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna go eat dinner. I'll show you what we're gonna eat, and then we'll go from there. Well, I completely forgot to film what we ate, but I had mobo tofu, which actually, they have a picture of it here. That's what I ate. It's great. It's tofu and a bunch of cool sauce and rice and stuff. You'd love it. Try it sometime. It's good. Can't take this guy anywhere without him trying to snap pictures. Look at him. Just got home and I actually got some really good news. Tomorrow I'm going to go look at another potential shop space. It's in the same area as the last one we looked at, but this one is double the size, which is even more epic. And it is actually still kind of in our price range. It's a little bit more expensive, obviously, but if it does turn out to be as good as I think it's going to be, then it is the perfect space for us to grow into. You know, it's a little bit bigger than our needs right now, which means that as things, you know, get bigger and stuff for me and Jeff and stuff, it's gonna be perfect for us to grow into and like absorb that little bit of extra space, right? So I'm really excited about that. Today, pretty simple stuff. We got a new wheel for the S15, some spares. What else happened? Just rad hangs at Yashio factory, hanging out with Oka-chan. I don't get to see him as much anymore, so it's good when I do get to spend time with him like that and just chill and do a bunch of stuff, and as well as just like working on like massive like issues that wreck your brain. Like this car that he has there, Yanagi-san's car, it has the weirdest issues that would normally point to like a faulty TPS or a faulty, you know, cam angle sensor, and all these weird, bizarre things that it could be, like sensors failing, but it's not those. It's like, I really do think it's a harness short because I think it's affecting all the sensors, which would mean that like either, and don't worry, we've tried changing ECUs, we've tried replacing everything except the harness at this point. So it has to be that. I even was like, maybe there's an adjustable aftermarket cam gear on the exhaust cam, because he has MVCS VCT, right? So we were like, I was like, you know, have you checked the timing chain yet and seen whether or not he has an adjustable cam gear there? Because I have seen this kind of issue happen before where a adjustable cam gear wasn't done up tight enough for the adjustable like Allen keys, and it would turn and move on engine like throttle and change like the timing on the exhaust cam, causing like back pressure and all these weird issues. So I checked that, and of course it was a factory or OEM one, so that definitely wasn't the issue. But that was like the last resort. If it was that, we were going to be very happy because it was an easy fix. But it looks like it is the wiring loom, and I think what's happening is there's a short happening somewhere in the loom, which is shorting out or adding resistance to all the sensors, so, and making the ECU go haywire. Like we're looking at the voltages and they're wrong. Like they're like 0.02, 0.04 off, and when that's on a TPS and an airflow meter, that's a big issue. So it's weird. It's affecting multiple sensors, and it's the only thing it can be at this point is a harness issue. So these things happen, especially on air chassis when they're low and they drift with a lot of angle. You know, your tires rub on the harness, you relocate the harness and stuff like that to a location where the tire and the wheel won't rub on it, but sometimes if it's already rubbed on it, the damage has already been done and water gets in there, and yeah. Anyways, I'm ranting now. But yeah, it's just cool working on those like difficult problems that we need to solve together, and like being able to go through his thought process and everything that he passes on to me when we go through stuff like that on the S chassis and the SRs and stuff. It's literally like, it's so valuable, it's priceless, like being able to work with him on stuff like that. So I'm really grateful, and I'm just pumped. I had a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Smash that like button, write us a comment. I'm also trying a little bit harder with cinematic stuff, like, you know, getting some nice slow-mo shots, and I finally found a really good website for copyright-free music. So I signed up for that subscription, and you'll notice the music will be changing a lot more frequently now. It shouldn't be the same tracks over and over, which I'm sure you guys are pumped about. But anyways, with that, guys, smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. We'll go check out that new potential shop. Peace out. Ciao.